Non-judgment. You hear me talk about this a lot on my channel, but it bears repeating. If you're judging yourself for wanting to learn more about sex, you are going to be your biggest block to becoming great at sex. If you think sex is dirty or shameful or wrong, or that you feel bad for having it or feel bad for being interested in it, how far are you going to get? You are not going to get very far in this world unless you decide to come into it without judgment. Also, number two, there's a lot of things about sex that people do with sex that you're going to want to judge. Like, you're going to be primed to go, oh, you're into that? That gets you off? Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it's wrong, it's weird, it's bad. And the more non-judgment that you can bring to other people, the more non-judgment that you can bring to yourself, the better you're going to get at sex. And the better you're going to get at anything. I mean, honestly, but sex just tends to be an area that people feel extremely judgmental around. And it's really easy to get that way because, and this brings me to tip number two, separate what you feel about sex from what other people feel about sex. For most of us, we grew up in households where sex either wasn't talked about, which tells you a lot, or if it was talked about, it was spoken about because it was bad, dirty, wrong, something to be avoided, something that was going to corrupt you or ruin your future or get you pregnant or get you sick or whatever. Those are other people's views about sex. What are yours? For me personally, I believe that sex connects me to my lover. I believe it's a way of reducing stress and getting some physical exertion. I believe it can be a spiritual connection to something bigger than myself. Like, I have some really hardcore positive beliefs about sex, but guess what? I didn't grow up believing those, and I definitely didn't get them from the culture that surrounds us. If I just believed what the average, American, I'm American. I know you probably aren't, or you might not be if you're watching this video, because I talk to people all over the world. Hi, people all over the world. If you grew up in the world today, specifically in the West, you probably were taught that sex exists with like big boobs, blondes. Sex has this really like pornographic idea about it. Like, if you only believe the things that you see in porn, you're going to believe that all men should have big penises, all women should have screaming orgasms, everyone should love anal sex. Like, understand that your beliefs about sex are not your own unless you've done the work to actually tease apart, where did I get that idea versus where I got that idea versus what ideas are true for me. Which brings me to tip number three, which is practice with lightheartedness. Okay. If you take sex super duper seriously all the time, you're only going to get super duper serious results. And sex can be serious, but it can be fun. And if you practice everything from non-judgment to self-reflection to sex itself with an air of lightness, lightheartedness, like, this should be fun, this can be joyful, this doesn't need to be super sad and serious and scary. Like, sex can be a area of play. That's going to make it a lot easier, because guess what? You're going to go up and down in your journey to becoming an amazing master of sex. There's going to be times where you're like, I am winning at this game. I've never been more confident. This is awesome. And there's going to be times where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I messed that up again. No one's ever going to want to have sex with me ever again. I'm so awful at this. And guess what? If you're taking it not too seriously, you're going to be able to ride those downs and get back up to those highs way, way, way faster. Also, honesty. It's not enough to just be lighthearted. You got to be honest. You got to be honest with yourself, and you got to be honest with your partners. And if you say to someone, hey, I'm trying to get better at sex, you want to give me feedback and let's keep this fun and light, that's going to be way, way, way easier for you to go into that scenario than the one where you're like, I have to pretend I already know everything there is to know about this, and there's no way I could ever get feedback because that will crush my soul. No one wants to have sex with that guy. No one wants to be that guy. Be the guy that can honestly say, hey, I want to get really great at oral sex. Do you think you could give me some pointers? Let me know how you like it. I'm open to feedback. That's honest. That's lighthearted. That's fun. Go with that. Now, how do we get better? That brings me to tip number 4, which is read. Read. There are so many awesome books about sex and sexuality. I will link to them on my website. I will give those. I have a whole list that I keep for my clients. I'm going to put it on my website. I'm going to link to it at the bottom of this video. Okay. All right. You're welcome. There are awesome resources out there on sex and sexuality. So go get them. Spend time with them. If you're the kind of person that loves reading about your business, loves reading about your finances, loves reading about cars, loves reading the instruction manuals when you buy new gadgets, and
What up?
Hello, in the zone. It is your girl, Sean Watson. Everybody's loving that name right now. Yes, I have everybody and their mama on this show because who doesn't want to talk about sex?
Apparently, like everyone. You're like, we have 4 guests.
Oh, no, we're here to talk about how to refinance your home.
I thought this was an election show.
Oh,
No, it's an erection show.
It's an all right.
Guess I'm on my own.
You're having trouble with erections? Then?
He's the only one here that can have one, aside from Jake. So we can.
I didn't
talk about
I didn't know we were going with
There's
that.
only one way to find out, Sean.
Oh. This is going to be one hell of a show. Well, before we, I mean, clearly we have gotten completely into the fuck shit, but before we really, really get into the fuck shit, let me introduce my co-host, Gina B. Hey.
What up? Hey, girl, hey.
I know you're usually about the highbrow stuff. Are you ready for the lowbrow fuck shit?
You know I like to get dirty.
Let's go.
We did that
There's a lull in it. Like you know, what's the dirtiest word I know?
Well, it was gonna get worse, but I was like, let me not. It'll get worse later. It'll get worse later.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I like to get ratchet, but like, no, it's gonna be a dirty ratchet.
Good. I'm glad. And just everybody knows we're drinking, so I really don't know where this is gonna go.
I think we're
And
drinking.
it's a 2/5 episode too.
We
Yeah.
drank
You
it.
want to show them how much we've drank so far?
I mean, we 1/5 in, but it's a 2/5er.
Yes.
So,
It's a double fisted.
yeah.
And let me introduce the young
Speaking
lady
of
that came
fisting.
in and was horrified by the amount of alcohol I poured her.
Or the lack
Erica, hey. Hey, boo. Hey, you ready? You excited?
What up, E?
I am.
You ready to get dirty?
It's been a minute.
It has.
It's been a minute.
I love my In the Zone alums who pop back in.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but I'm ready. I think.
You think?
We'll see.
Maybe we'll see.
You were perfect for this. Yeah, absolutely. Me and Brian were talking about this. We have to have Erica on this. Absolutely, 1000%.
Stop putting me under the bus. Stop throwing me
He's
under
like,
the
if anyone
You
can talk about
you
sex,
can get
it's
him.
Erica.
And of course, we have. How could we not have this show without Mila,
Hey y'all.
who of course brought a game. Hopefully, we won't have to moan in the process.
Stop dissing my game.
No.
That game
Did you
was
want to
fun.
play that?
What
game?
episode?
Good.
What episode was that?
I don't know, but I was here for it.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Except I wasn't here for it. You know what I mean?
That was hilarious. Well, thanks for having me.
Of course. And we have Mr. Herb Howard, aka Minister Herb, aka Hot Boy Herb,
Wow.
AKA.
heterosexual Herb,
Wow.
AKA.
Hotel Herb.
Wow.
aka Hotep Herb.
Wow.
Also known as.
Hot Boy Herb. Do we have
Anything
the
else? Did we do
Harem
them all?
Herb? We got Harem
Harem
Herb.
Herb.
Tonight he is Harem Herb because he's got all the women.
Harem
tonight.
Herb.
Wow. Hello,
Yeah.
ladies. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Great
Pleasure to be
intro.
here. It was. It's interesting. There's a bunch of names that
All this alliteration.
people came up with watching Herb and too. People just started putting all these different
Oh, you.
names for me in there, and they just kind of taking on a life of their own. But
Well,
happy to be here. Appreciate y'all for having me. Shout out to my man B Foss too.
Hey,
And-
you were prominently featured in our last episode.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, did you
Oh,
not? Did
I
you
missed
check it out? You
No,
missed
I
it.
I
We talked about gaslighting
last week.
Yeah,
No, the conversation we had about gaslighting.
Oh, yeah, we
we used one of your clips.
We've been talking about that.
Oh.
We've been talking about that a lot lately.
Are you using the right
gaslighting,
definition? That's a whole different
the
story.
farce that it is.
Well,
It's
that's
not
the
a
whole
farce.
point of gaslighting. The whole
It's
point of
not-
anyway.
no, he thinks the
concept
concept
No, it is
isn't-
not.
It's not true. It's
We
not
can
a
talk
real
about
We're not here to be serious, people.
We
We're
are not.
here
We're
to
here
talk
have
about
fuckery.
sex and be total assholes in the process. Okay. Now that I've introduced everybody, let's start with some questions. And let's start with attraction.
Ooh,
We'll start with
Oh.
Mila.
Mila.
How
Mira.
now we have to start at the beginning, right? Because sex, you just don't jump. Well, men just jump in the bed, but
Wow.
typically,
It's not fair to
That's
say.
not, thank
Oh,
you, Mila.
I'm here
Well,
for
I
the fuck
appreciate
shit.
You always fair.
I'm not
you know?
here to be fair. I'm here to be
Okay.
an asshole.
Oh, okay.
Just so we're clear. That's not my job today.
Got it.
Perhaps tomorrow.
We were as well.
But we normally have to be attracted to people. And somebody actually sent me an interesting image, so I'm gonna start with there.
Oh,
Wait, you
This-
think we fuck people we're not even attracted to?
Y'all
Some
do.
people
Y'all
do.
do.
Well, you
Some
know what it
people
is.
do.
You just don't want to admit that you're attracted.
Yeah,
to
but
some people
usually
that
when you
fucking.
fucking somebody you're not attracted to, you like married to them.
Oh.
What?
Wait,
I'm sorry, what?
You're not wrong.
Wait, at the beginning. Wait, what?
That was too much truth too soon. Was that too true too soon?
Well,
Please tell us
My
more.
bad.
Yeah, please. Okay, so you.
more.
But here's the thing: if
My
you're
bad.
married to them, you had to have gotten there somewhere. So let's hope that you had some
Did you?
traction.
Sure.
Did you?
What you didn't?
I didn't,
So
say,
when
that,
you
that- I didn't say that was my testimony. I'm just saying.
exactly. See, we already got a what? What?
Too much truth too soon. I
You went
apologize.
too fast.
I bet that better not be true.
Is that, he wasn't lying though. That's not a
Of course I
lie.
wasn't lying.
That's
Of course I wasn't.
Erica is
I mean, it
1000% true.
It might be. It might be not attracted to anymore.
Now I would not.
Wait, what was the question though? You totally hijacked that.
I did not ask the question. The question was going to be physical attraction or mental attraction. Which one do you
Are
normally
you
have
a
first?
sapiosexual?
And which one is more important?
Which one do I have first? I guess it depends. Like
One?
like if he's attractive and I can't stop looking at him versus maybe he's not necessarily unattractive, but as I like listen to him, he seems a bit more symmetrical.
It kind of grows on you.
His conversation
He talks ugly? Is that what that means?
No, he talks attractive.
Some people do talk
Oh.
ugly.
No,
So
you
he
know
was
how you
ugly,
meet some people
and he
you're
looked
not.
better as
So
he
he
talked.
was ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's
That's
something
funny.
there's something inside of you. That's
It
beautiful.
usually happens the other way, though.
They talk
It's
themselves
usually
out
they
of
talk
them.
themselves
Oh no,
out of
I
it
agree.
goes
Oh,
both
no.
ways.
Yeah.
For me.
It does,
I'm
for
with you
sure.
on that.
They usually
I'm
So
talk
many
themselves
men
out of it, like.
couldn't got so laid.
Listen, we've had this conversation a million times on this podcast, and I'm not going to bring it up again. But I think that most people are attractive.
Yes, you said that bullshit before.
I do not.
That's kind of wild.
I
That
do
is
not
kinda
think
wild.
And
most
that's
people are
fair.
You said
attractive.
that bullshit before.
I know, and they
I
hate
do not
me for
believe
it.
that.
I think that most people are attractive.
Really?
And then
Physically
they
so?
open their mouth, and you realize they're not.
You think that most
So-
people are physically attractive? Like most like
I
if you see
don't
10
find-
people,
I don't.
8 of
find
them is
many-
attractive.
I don't find many people ugly.
really?
Define ugly.
Right.
Like-
Why am I here?
I'm
Like
perplexed.
first and last name, the
I
last
know
ugly
people
person
ugly.
you saw.
I'm not
Or how about where you saw them? Was it Jewel? Was it?
okay.
Are you around models a lot? Because I'm confused.
All my bitches bad, but you know,
Maybe that's what it is.
That's what it is.
You hang around little bad
I
bitches.
hang around bad bitches. But no, seriously, I don't find many people unattractive. But what I do, but what
We all confused. Like,
But
word.
don't
what
wanna know
usually
what's up.
happens
Gene, like, I
is
seen
people
two
are
attractive people in heaven.
attractive, and then they start to talk, and you realize that they're not that attractive at all.
I agree with that piece. I think
They're
that
kind of dumb.
dudes, for the most part, like I don't think you can talk your way into the box. I think you can only talk your way out of
You
it.
can
I mean, I
talk
guess
your way
if
into
You
you
the
can
box.
absolutely talk your way into
okay,
the box.
okay. So I'm saying, like, on some sapio shit, like you talking about, like you around them, you become attracted to their intellect and things like that. But in terms of just like smooth, like, nah, she decided a long time ago that you could fuck. Maybe that,
So I will
maybe
say,
not that
Got
you
a
were
story.
going to,
Yep.
but that you
yeah, we
could
do have
fuck.
a we
Got
do
a
have
story.
you could get it list.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a
Like,
yes, we have a
could
you
get
can
it
get it.
list. It
And
doesn't
it
mean you
goes
will
down
get it. It
from
just
there.
means that you're on
You
the
could,
list.
right.
You know,
You
like,
could
yeah.
one day, maybe.
And we
I
say
got a
that.
story.
People like, oh, he can get it.
Right.
As soon as they
Like,
say
you
hello,
want
they
it.
like,
Yeah.
You want
he
more.
could fuck. Maybe not he won't, but he could.
Yeah, we do that too.
All right.
We do. Hey, Susan.
I am about to share a story that's going to challenge Heard's
Do I know this
viewpoint.
story?
So,
Bring it.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
I
you
love
all are
story time
newer
with
friends.
Sean.
So I had a friend who was dating a very
Uh-huh.
Well,
Just say it
no.
was you. It's fine.
it wasn't me. Was dating a well-known drug dealer in Chicago.
Well, no.
Did you say
Hideous.
who the drug dealer was?
Absolutely not.
Right.
But
You
Okay,
letting
I'm
the
just
ugly
trying to-
person-
I wouldn't know him
I'm
anyway.
just trying to make sure she talking about me.
The drug
You like, was that
No.
bitch me?
this was in the 90s, early 2000s. So
Okay,
It still
then.
applies.
and in my
Fizz
opinion,
was.
I never understood how he got that. His girlfriend was stunning. He looked to me like a Keebler elf troll, but
Was
I
he short?
digress.
Did he have money?
Wait, you just said he was a well-known drug dealer.
Yeah,
But he was
come on now.
ugly.
But
Very
that's,
simple.
Yeah, left.
yeah, that's
Oh,
a
he's
very
fine.
simple
Very
version.
Very
Yeah.
simple.
That's very
Yeah.
simple.
That's easy.
Very
That's-
lucrative bag.
I was
Yeah.
not attracted to him until one day I was
Wait.
sitting there at the club. I was with my friend.
At
He
the
was
club.
there, and he actually spoke to me and he talked. And I said, "This makes sense why bitches
Yeah.
are fucking you because your fucking game is tight. I'm not
Or
fucking
maybe
you,
he's just
but I
like
get
a
it.
really dope ass dude.
Yeah, really
and
dope.
Oh no, he's trash
not-
as shit, but his
Oh.
mouth game is on point.
Oh, is he like
So
a
he's
pimp?
like
'Cause
he's
that
like a
sound
Biggie.
pimp.
He's like a Biggie Smalls.
Or Jermaine
No, I mean,
Dupri.
he was
must
very
have some
complimentary,
of
like-
that.
And nobody thought Biggie was attractive, but when he opened his mouth,
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Black and
Right.
ugly as ever. However,
Whatever. He
Exactly.
says Gucci down to the socks.
Now, Gina,
Huh.
mental, physical.
Mental, physical.
Which one's more important?
So, physical will get you. But see, okay. So I have a whole classification, right?
We did not know
So-
this.
Yeah.
School us.
So mental, okay, just physical attraction, and that's it. Like I used to have a definition of a situation. I had a lot of situationships prior to meeting my now fiance, and so a situationship would always have to be with a guy who I thought was fine, but there was something about him that would preclude me from wanting to be in a relationship with him. Like generally, is because he was kind of stupid, right?
Sure.
Because I really need.
and there we are.
go.
There we
I
go.
definitely needed, and if you're out there, sorry, no. But anyway, I definitely need to have a combination of a conversation and you're cute, right? So if you are cute and smart, then that's a winning combination.
So you're
for
trying to
somebody
tell
I could
me
date.
you've never fucked somebody that you
No.
only found smart,
No,
or you
no,
only
I
found stupid?
situationship. So yes, you fuck them, but you just don't get attached to them because they're idiots. Like when you wake up and they start
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Wow, just
Yeah.
honey, just say less. Like say less.
Do that thing
Just
again.
show up between 2 a.m. and 7." And
Wow.
but we're not going to have any kind of philosophical conversations.
so bad.
But it's true. I mean, is that not true?
I
Are
guess
you
I'm
going to-
Well, I
an
guess because
anomaly. I don't
someone-
fuck stupid people.
But-
I can't do it.
But if you want a situationship, you're just like, he's kind of fine, and
I
I
don't
just
know.
want
I don't
something to
know
do.
if I could like. Okay, so it was this dude.
if he leaves,
I like we sitting
Get out.
there, and he
actually, really,
What
you
is that?
leave.
super cool dude,
Fuck outta here.
fine as hell. And I say, grab the remote, press play,
See,
Well,
remote. That's your
okay,
biggest. That's your
wait,
first problem.
press play,
Don't watch TV. With
and
them
he
dumb motherfuckers.
said, "What word that is?"
No.
"Okay, that's a level of."
I don't even
stupid.
believe that.
No,
I don't even
that's-
believe that.
That's
How old
way
was
too
he?
stupid.
Wait, was he your age?
We were the same age.
Were
right?
y'all
I
in
don't care
preschool?
what
Like,
age.
No, I'm trying to get.
What word
I
that
mean,
is?
What
I'm
word that
trying to
is?
give excuses for this younger
Don't,
generation that own those
don't.
pictures.
No, he
Don't.
was
Like,
on
he
the
was
same
a little
until like
baby.
okay when
He was
you
a
fuck
little
okay so here's the
baby.
thing, when you fuck with hood dudes you do not know like it's the reality of you
Right,
can meet
yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
who is illiterate like
Correct.
because
Okay,
people
I
are so
didn't-
educated
Yeah.
we totally forget that it's motherfuckers that literally cannot
Mhm.
read. They're few and far
Play-Doh?
between.
But that was why my question was.
You
I
can't
was
read
there a
her. You
picture?
can't
I need to
read.
reclassify.
Because sometimes they only know the
He didn't know
triangle.
classification.
But I'm
Okay.
judging him because he didn't know the triangle meant
See,
play.
I don't think that he really put that together. I wasn't there, but I can.
Was
tell
this
you
like the early
probably
90s?
didn't put
Is
it
that
I
what it
mean
was?
we were
Where
like
VCRs
this is
were-
like high
But-
school.
Okay, let me
You know
reclassify.
what?
Let me
maybe it
That
wasn't.
was early
Maybe it
90s.
wasn't play that got him. Maybe it was remote. That
I need to back
Remote?
up.
You know what I'm saying?
He knew the remote. He had the remote. I said press play.
I
And
need
he
to-
said
let me-
what
let me-
word that is.
Let me.
Maybe he had a really old TV. Maybe
The
that's
motherfucker
what
couldn't
I'm
read.
getting
It's
at.
very simple.
Okay.
He
wait.
couldn't read.
I
He
never
couldn't
had
read.
that level of idiocy.
Wow.
I'm
And
gonna tell-
because what happens is you find somebody
never
who's
let her-
that who is in that space, and then you try and figure out like, am I tripping? And so then it was like little tests to see if he could or if he was just kind of fronting. He was fronting. He couldn't read.
Wow. that's
He was
different.
fine as shit. And
Well,
so
okay.
I rolled
unfortunate.
We've never gotten to an illiterate place.
You do
Like
have a-
I'm just okay. In my situationships,
I
they
like
could at
them.
least like they just weren't where I
Oh,
needed
man,
them
this
to be
shit
for
is-
relationships. But we weren't.
Driving and
We
shit.
weren't talking about no damn like what word that is.
so
kind of shit.
unfortunate.
Yeah, well, and
But
then
no,
not
I
only that,
can't.
but
I
the
can't.
trouble.
No, I can't sleep with you if you're that.
Well, just
I
don't
can't
watch
sleep- I
TV
can't fuck
with
you if you're that
them.
dumb. That's too much.
Why is he still there? Like you shouldn't. Like there should not.
I
be,
learned it. Like I guess we
No,
learn all.
you
We
should
learn
get
all
him out
sorts
of there
things.
before you realize that his literacy level isn't quite where you need it to be.
Yeah, I mean, some of us will take an
He
illiterate
knows
dude
go.
over a small penis. You know?
Wow.
He knows
You-
go right.
Do men, y'all would take an illiterate person? You have to speak for all
I mean,
men. I'm
it's
sorry.
not. It's not like
I'm
a
so very
curse.
sorry. You have to
That's
be the
new
story
pussy,
for all men.
right?
I'm not generally
pussy's
gonna speak
illiterate.
for all men. I would tell you, me personally.
You have to speak for all men.
I'm not
That's why
gonna
you're
do
here.
it. I'm different from most of them anyway.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna do it because me, like, I'm a cuddler and shit. Like people talk all this wild shit about like
ain't gotta be
top
smart
boy
to
hurt
cuddle.
shit. No, that's what I'm saying though.
They're usually facing the back of their head.
Exactly.
Listen
have to
what
talk.
Listen to what I'm saying. I like to like so when we're done having sex, I kind of just want to chill and like lay up or like we got to talk about something. If we can't hold a conversation,
There you
shorty,
go.
you can kick
Why?
rocks.
Why do you have to talk when you're cuddling?
Really?
I feel like that's
People
quiet
who can't
time.
read, can't really speak. You know, like
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But they can cuddle.
Just generally speaking, like
My
if
thing
I'm
is you
gonna
got there
spend some
somehow.
time with you, we gotta have a conversation. If it's just a nut, I could beat off, or I could fuck an intelligent woman. Like, you know what I mean? We don't gotta do that.
If you say that, so
But
it
we don't
doesn't
wanna
matter
do
if like
that.
she communicates. Because
He's like,
not
we don't wanna
everybody
do
like
that.
talks. So you need somebody that actually like uses words and has good conversation. So it doesn't matter if like that's.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point in my life, it's like I'm past like just to like a quick fuck you can get out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got partners that are like, I got like partners that's like intelligent, that can hold a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And we don't always have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just quick fuck, gone about, or whatever, or not say shit. I'm cool with silence too. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna have
in some cases you'd
sexual
rather have
encounter
silence.
at this point in my life with somebody who I couldn't also at least
Now,
have a
to be
conversation.
clear, my
That's
situationships
fair. I think
happened
that's
over
fair.
15
That's
years
fair.
ago, so this was not anything, and they never were.
Disclaimer, everybody, most
Disclaimer.
people here in a relationship, so all conversations we have were in the past, well before
Like,
our current.
please.
I don't need a disclaimer.
I will tell you.
I'm like, are we really putting out
I will
disclaimers?
tell
Check
you.
I'm trying to make
My-
sure save everybody in the room.
Please.
My best example,
Put the
though.
star at the bottom of the screen. Can we scroll?
Jay, can we
And
have
red
a
stories
disclaimer?
happened
Disclaimer,
in
disclaimer.
Between
Past.
92
These are
and
past
97.
Right, like that's
We
where
are
we're.
talking
But
about
Things
all
that happened
conversations are
many years
subject to
before
many
our
years
criminal-
ago.
I'll tell you what happened to me in my 20s. Right, this is kind of funny.
Because what you know
In my-
about to do is
Y'all
fuck up
funny
somebody's
as
life.
shit.
My
Right.
best-
One day when somebody will do you.
He on the locks be changed and shit.
My
What the fuck is going on?
That you
I saw
fuck
that
up
show.
somebody's life tonight.
no, but you know what? My best example.
Can you spell unlock, bitch?
I'm sitting in a
Can you
club.
spell play?
You know, I was sitting in a club one night and I was young, right? And so I was like, look, there was this fine dude like all the way across the bar. And I was like looking at him and he was looking at me and my friend's like, I think that dude's like, checking you out. I'm like, okay. So he comes over and I'm like, okay,
I
this,
love
this
you, Jake.
fine
That's
man,
amazing.
this fine man's about to come. And when he came over and started talking to me, sheer buckwheat came out of this man's mouth.
Oh no!
Like, how you doing? My name is. I was like,
oh no!
did you ever see Eddie Murphy?
Oh, yeah, a speech
Mhm.
impediment.
Buckwheat
Oh,
or
no.
something? I was like, it's nice to meet you.
Oh no, we're so
My
shallow.
man's in the other room. I was like, oh, I can't.
Oh no!
So
I feel bad
like-
for him.
Well,
Do
I mean, I've dated.
Little.
See, Mila's so
I've
understanding.
dated.
Don't
I've
feel bad
dated
for him.
some guys. So I've dated a few. Not dated, like went out on dates. Deaf guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's fire.
And well, the first one I didn't know until like we're sitting talking. He's reading my lips, and eventually he just kind of like makes it clear, like
Yeah, I can't
I
hear
have
you.
a,
I can
you know,
shit yourself.
I have a
You like
device.
turn around and talk. You like, hey, don't stay right here. Like,
Yeah,
talk.
and then the other one, told me
Yeah.
what happened to him. It like happened later in life, and I would forget. And so I'd be on the side of the ear, and I'd just be going. He'd be like, "What's that?"
You're like, well, damn.
Nothing. And I dated a guy with no legs.
You did?
Wow,
How'd that go?
Interesting.
you're my shero.
Really?
I'm not shallow.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
Maybe I could. I don't know.
Does that limit the positions?
It
Well,
does
yeah.
not.
It doesn't.
Whoa!
We could go from the back and all that.
I was gonna say, how does he go from the back?
Oh my god.
How his
No,
his
not
from
oh
the back
my
is
god,
crazy?
how? Not how?
Why are you filling in the blanks?
not oh my god,
I mean,
how?
like, because the way you said it, like his from the back game was crazy. Like he stuck a nail
How
in
and be very visual because we want to know specifics.
Oh,
This is turning into a way more interesting
I'd
conversation.
rather talk about that than the rest of the show, quite frankly.
Yeah, right. We can just fuck the rest of
He
this.
says, I want to know.
But you remember?
but you remember.
There's no way you forgot
Wait,
that.
no, I
This is
didn't.
why you're here, to
I've
supplement
told it
the-
so many
You see, it's
times.
all like inquisitive.
We're
Like,
all like, what?
really?
So wait, would you all ever date or be?
I may
intimate
consider
with-
it now that you said that.
Oh, good for you.
I
You're
may.
curious.
It
No,
has
I'm
never
curious.
come up.
we met, and I didn't realize. Well,
He
I
rolled
did
up on
realize
He rolled up on you.
He was.
I
On
hate you
crutches.
both. I hate you both.
So no, I need to understand.
Oh, we don't want to be ableist. All right.
I didn't. I was
Oh,
being
Lord.
serious. He rolled up on you.
Lordy, Lord,
Can you,
Lord,
please,
Lord.
can you please explain to us how said sir
Said sir.
said
Approached
sir? No, how he
Hit it
takes
from the
it
back.
behind.
Oh my God.
Why is
Wait,
everybody being
That's all
diplomatic
we
on
care
this?
about.
Can we have
sorry.
details?
That's all we care about.
We don't even care how y'all met.
Oh,
We
my,
don't.
don't nobody
We
want
don't.
to hear that shit. No, tell us.
Did he roll up on you or not? And then how does he hit from the
He
back?
didn't
Right.
roll up.
that.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't in a chair. He was.
Okay.
He was on crutches. He was fly as hell though.
Nobody. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, that's right. We're not
So-
judging.
We're not saying he couldn't be a fly nigga. We just want to
No,
know.
we're just trying to figure out what
Yeah,
happened.
this is like,
How we
you know.
get here?
I feel like okay. Like how do I explain it? Limbs get in the way, I guess.
Oh shit!
Well,
Is it like teeth?
When you're a woman, they do, but when you're a man, you kind of need them.
Get in the way.
Apparently not.
Will.
Apparently, we've been doing this wrong.
Apparently.
Hey, yo.
Sister, let's get in the way.
Legs.
I can't.
Wait, how do I put it in the right?
Legs, that's the first thing you move out the way.
But wait, what did he? But like, what was his leverage?
So
like
he-
he was like on the.
What was,
panel,
yeah,
like
where did the
wall,
strength
or
come
like,
from?
Where's the
I'm
leverage?
like, what is he
Because
standing on when he's from the back?
There was no shower sex, apparently.
Are you embarrassed?
There's
What's
no
happening
knees.
here?
There's no knees. There's no legs.
No,
There's no
wait,
legs. So
wait,
was he
wait,
against
wait,
the
wait,
wall? Like, where's the leverage?
We don't know how much of his leg he didn't have. Was
So
he-
there's that, and I do
Oh,
have to
wow.
say this. I do
Oh,
have to say this. One, we have people that are part of our community, our families, and even listeners that are differently able and
For
don't
sure.
have every
Yes.
limb. So
For
one,
sure.
I want to make sure that anybody who identifies or has different abilities doesn't feel like this conversation is a dig or anything like that.
Respect.
Because
No, we're just curious.
no, but I'm just saying.
No,
like,
respectfully, how you hit from the back.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
Right.
No,
No,
you
that's
do
what
have
I'm
to say
saying.
that,
Like, it's
right?
cool, but like,
So
where's
I'll
the
let you know, like,
leverage?
let me
his
put the
ability.
disclaimer out there.
Can you
This
put
is
it on
not to
screen?
offend anybody
you.
who is
Please.
what's the
Someone
word?
will get
Anybody
Differently able.
who's differently abled, but at the same time, people who are able have a lot of questions and are totally ignorant. So we're gonna ask said ignorant questions.
Wait.
Thank you for that. No. It's,
But I
it's
can't
just
say,
like,
because
I
I'm not.
definitely think it's worth,
Thank you,
know,
Jake.
yeah, like
being
I don't
clear.
know.
being
Like, I
very,
mean,
very clear.
We are not able.
We are not ableists. We were just. I was just
We're
wanting
not.
to know what a
We
leverage.
We just
very
have
was.
questions.
clear.
We just want to know where the
leverage.
ability lies.
Right.
Oh.
Where?
Everywhere. So that's like the
Where?
first thought is that just because someone doesn't have doesn't mean that they can't. It might look
Okay.
different,
Sure.
right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
that's
and
just
that's what
it
we're
is.
trying to
And
get
so
at.
He was
Can you
missing.
educate us?
Yeah, so he was missing right above his right knee. So
Okay.
he still had
Okay, so
his
you
hip.
said-
So
okay.
right above his knee on the
Look
right.
at y'all like, okay, now I'll fuck him.
Let me see.
Yeah.
And then he was
No, not-
missing his
I'm
entire,
No,
his
no,
entire
no.
left leg up to his hip.
Okay.
Oh,
So
got
okay,
it.
left leg
okay,
was
okay.
So
completely
we were
gone.
thinking there were no lower extremities at
Like,
all,
period.
like torso.
You
That's
said no
still-
legs.
You
That's
said
still-
no. So I'm envisioning
No
torso.
left. Half right.
That still
Yes.
begs the question: how?
No left,
He
half
had
right.
enough for leverage. That's all that matters.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
I feel like they even
Strong
makes
as
it.
hell.
I feel like they even makes it more difficult with no left and half right.
I mean,
I agree.
yeah, because you're all like, well,
Because you would be
It's a
lopsided.
little
right?
offset.
wouldn't you?
But you got one good.
This conversation is
So you
going to
go-
nowhere.
Offset.
Okay. I'm gonna
Do you ever ride him in a
Change.
wheelchair?
He didn't have a
we're gonna change this subject
Wait,
and move
so-
on. We're moving on.
Okay, we'll talk later.
We're moving
All right.
on.
after the show.
All right,
Because
Okay.
keep it moving.
now I want to talk about before we get into our game.
Wait,
Eva.
man, where can I get some of that dead? Who?
Deaf.
Oh, deaf.
He meant to say deaf, but he sounded like a necro.
Whoever you
Oh,
were, how
yeah.
unfortunate.
All right, little Dominic.
So-
Are you kidding me? And it says Facebook user, you hide your identity.
No, they're not hiding it. Depending on where they're watching it, it may
It may,
show it, it may
okay.
not. All right. So I want to talk about one of my favorite things:
Which is?
making out. I am a huge.
Really?
I
No,
love
people
Are
make
you
making
out
sloppy
now.
kissing? Are you like
You like
tongue
sloppy
kiss?
kisses?
You
No,
like-
I know.
okay,
It's
all
spit everywhere. Like,
No. But I like a lot of touching. I like a lot of kisses. I like
kisses.
I love
Yeah.
making out.
This song isn't actually like wet and gross.
Depends.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
as long as
like
it's not-
making out. All the
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
stuff is just
It's fun.
can't
Ooh,
get
so
enough.
I have a
I can do
game.
that for hours.
I have a game on my page, right, for Intimacy 101, and there's a game where you play with your partner, and in your head you think about like an exact spot on your body, and
Okay.
your partner has to kiss you until they find it.
Ooh, I'm taking that game.
I love that.
I'm taking that game.
That takes a lot of integrity. You start enjoying the kisses, you be lying and shit. Like, nope. Nope.
I love
My fiance would get sick of that in about 5 minutes.
I love
He'd
everything.
be like, "Are we watching?
I love
Like, what are we
it.
doing? Are we watching House of the
I love
Dragon or what?"
that.
I love that
Okay,
too. I love
So now that we're on making out,
Okay.
my question, and I'll start with Harem Herb over here.
Yeah.
Well,
damn her.
Could you
Well,
have
no.
sex with somebody who was a terrible kisser? Why or why not? See how men have to think about
We're
this?
talking
I bet
about-
the
we're
women
talking
are
about-
all ready for the answer.
On the lips, sir.
I
That's what we're talking
certainly
about.
have. I don't know that I could at this point, but I certainly have because I'm kissing it to me right throughout most of my sexual experience. Kissing to me has been more intimate than penetration. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'll
it is.
fuck you
I
before I
agree.
kiss you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and that's probably some bogus shit. That's probably sound wild
I
to
feel like
say.
that's a very
No,
common.
kissing is very intimate.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
before we go tongue wrestling, we could have sex. Like And so I would say yes in my experience, but today probably not. Today I probably would, enjoy the makeout session. I've come to believe, I've learned that, foreplay is a 24/7 thing. I used to think that foreplay was the 10 minutes before I stick
You
it
are
in.
evolved.
It's so,
I love it.
Yeah,
it really
yeah,
is.
I-
Very important note.
It happens every fucking
That's such a
day.
small
Yeah,
window
like,
of time.
but all the
day.
time. I used to
You
think it was just
know?
like, 10 minutes before we actually have, penetration, that's
Yeah.
what foreplay is.
Yeah.
But
Foreplay depends on
foreplay
whether
is
or
all
not
day
you did
long.
the
It's the
dishes.
text.
You're
It's the
right.
little walk past and
Yeah.
touch.
If you're not
It's the
taking
li-
garbage out, don't
it's-
think you're getting laid.
Well, that ain't really foreplay, but
It is foreplay.
It is.
Not
for
me.
y'all,
Not
for
for
y'all,
me.
it's
Absolutely.
weird.
Really,
Like,
not for me. No.
y'all let the wrong shit get in the way of sex. I'm not gonna lie.
Household
completely
chores
agree.
are household chores are not foreplay.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
Well,
so
but
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
here's the deal. They
Nah.
contribute to me not being pissed off, which which contributes to the whole thing.
But I don't
Right,
get
like,
pissed
so-
off about household chores.
Oh my god, I get so
don't
pissed
care.
off.
So-
about household
Yeah,
chores.
no,
Wow,
it's
Erica, you're
fine.
better than
Like,
me.
I'm a Virgo.
There's
Okay.
value
I
on
get pissed off
household
about
chores, and
everything.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
But when we start to then apply what happens in household chores to
the
our sex
bedroom.
life,
Yeah.
it creates a problem that doesn't need to be there. Now, you not
Agreed.
fucking, I'm not
Agreed.
fucking. It's like, yo, why we not fucking? Because
Yeah.
this dishes, like,
It's
I'm
like
not
you
fucking
create
because
like
it's
and that's
dishes.
how
mental.
it's
No, it's what's
And I
behind
agree,
that.
it's
It's
dumb.
what's
So,
behind
but
that,
so
though.
the thing is like when I teach I teach a class called Sex Flags, and it's for women, and people that identify as. And women typically really enjoy sex and want it, but we do absolutely get in our own way of having intimate moments. And so,
Yep.
one, it is an offering and an invitation for your partner to enjoy you. We've created like coochie currency, right? So if you don't do everything on this list, I'm not giving you no pussy. But the crazy part is like that means you're not getting fucked. Right? Like you're not creating ways in which you're like, all right, he didn't move his shoes. I had a woman come to class. She was like, my man works 18 hours. He shows up for his team, but I know he doesn't love and respect me because he leaves his shoes at the door. And I was like, why are you upset about that? She said, because I told him what he needs to do with it and he won't do it. And so I don't let him touch me and whatever. And I was like, okay,
Well-
but your man comes home instead of moving his shoes or asking like, why is he leaving them there? He
Y'all
doesn't
don't
want to
fuck for a
bring,
week.
you don't have sex for a week because he didn't move his shoes, but he's either tired, doesn't want to track garbage in the house, but she's created in her head, these shoes equal access to lovemaking. And that's the part where I was like, is that really how you want to live your life? Keeping yourself away from a beating heart because of something that you don't, like a habit that can be like talked about.
See, I
It
think
makes no
about it a little
sense.
differently. So it isn't necessarily that it's like I'm going to bribe you or blackmail you if you don't do the shit, right? Like that isn't really it. It's more like it isn't like she. In some cases, it isn't like she would otherwise feel like having sex if all that like I'm going to punish him for this, right? Like that's not always the thought. Sometimes it's like, all right, I just now don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like it can be like a combination of things that can make you like, okay.
So I feel what you're saying, G, but
feel
let me
like
ask you, like why is your arousal directly tied to house chores? I get what you're saying. It's not like you're punishing it. It's not like
what's
you didn't do that, so now I'm
behind the
going to
house
withhold.
chores. It's not the house
Why
chores.
is
It's what's
it
behind
bothering
behind
your
the house
box?
chores. It's whatever it means
Tension?
to you. It could be tension. It could be like, look, just
It's caring and
Yeah,
consideration.
it is. It's like you are inconsiderate
do you
enough.
care about me enough to take care of the things that I have to take care of? Because if you, it's all about care and consideration.
Care about you
For
enough to
some
suck on your
people.
clit. If
Some
you
people,
stop caring about the
but for
trash.
some
But we-
people, it's about. But for some people, it's literally about: do you care enough about the things that I care about?
Oh, I get that part. Like,
Yeah.
these are
And
the
for
people,
some people, my house being clean is
that's
important
totally,
to me.
I'm a
like,
Virgo.
we
And
get
so
the,
my house being clean and organized
That's fine.
is very important.
the question
to
is,
me.
are you happy like that? Is it getting you more sex or less?
But it doesn't
But
matter.
that doesn't matter.
then
But that
there we
doesn't
go.
matter
Doesn't
to a person
yeah.
whose whole person is attached to their sexual being. Like there are people who can separate sex from their everyday.
Oh, I completely
functionality.
agree.
Right. So for me, I need to have my house clean. I need to have my car with gas, whatever it is.
I get
The
it. And
menial
so
tasks
what
that
we
most
do,
people think are not important.
what we do is we invite people to reflect on. So you're saying if all of those things don't, then I won't. And let's just think about in 365 days how frequent it is that you can actually say all of the boxes are checked. So what we do is just invite, like, you created the rules. So if you've only had sex 10 times this year because of your rules and you're saying we need to have more sex, then it is evaluate your rules. Sometimes it does not matter. If you want to make love to your husband and you've created 12 things that he has to do in order for you to have sex with him, and it doesn't happen, and these are your rules, and you can change them whenever. We are kind of complicit in our own suffering when it comes to sexuality.
But sometimes it's not about rules.
Yeah, sometimes
it's not rules. It's
you can call it whatever.
It's
I
think that's what she was saying.
Mental.
Yeah.
It's what it takes for your mental space to be free.
To mentally get that.
It's about where your mental space is.
Right.
You can't police what another person needs to be free mentally in order to open up.
But you can ask yourself, why are you connected to it?
I don't ask.
And you can ask it, but it doesn't mean it's gonna change.
So this is what we work on in class, though, for the women that come and they're like, we want to reflect on what it is that we're doing or what we can do differently so that we can have a better lovemaking lifestyle.
But everybody doesn't value sex over
I'm not talking about everybody.
Because that's what we're talking about. Yeah. This is what she's talking about is intimacy.
Right.
She's talking about intimacy as it relates to sex. You're talking about sex.
No.
Yeah, you are. Because you're removing the intimacy from the sex.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Y'all are not going to serious this subject to death. We are here.
That's how you feel. That's not what's happening.
Invite me on your pod.
Yeah,
bring me on your pod.
I'm right there with her because I'm just like, it's not
so we can talk about it.
No,
I don't think it's the same thing.
What I will add to this, I see both sides of this, right? Hey, Crystal Critic, how you doing?
Hey, Chris. I thought you was gonna be here.
You trolling? What are you doing?
My dog. No,
who was the woman in purple? If you were here at the beginning, you would know.
Woman.
Yes. What I will say is this: I think what happens is,
here's Jamal again.
Who cares about what Jamal has to say? What I will say is, I think we all don't necessarily realize how much of what goes on in our life impacts the other things in our life, right?
Yes.
Like if you are at work and you're having a tough time at work, it's going to start impacting your home.
Does.
So I think that is the part that's kind of missing in this dialogue. Like, I don't think it's fair that women hold sex hostage based on a man doing what she needs, cleaning, cooking, washing dishes. I don't think it's fair. However, I also think it's difficult for a person to get out of their way if they are being inundated with having to take care of the kids by themselves, having to clean up everything. That stuff starts to get into the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's the stuff that usually I think couples should talk about so they can figure out a way so that can come. But that's my little serious moment.
One little period.
God damn it! But you people in this damn serious subject.
My prayer. One period. It's not that the women are holding it hostage. I don't think that any woman holds sex hostage. I think that women like sex as much as men like sex.
More than.
I don't think that women hold sex hostage. I think that women are more inclined to be mental when it comes to sex. And so if our minds are preoccupied with everything but sex, we can't do it. Like it's just like I can't.
That's one of the reasons why I teach the class. That's the exact same reason that we teach the class.
Let a man have problems making money, problems with work.
Talk about that.
Like they will not feel like having any sex. They don't feel like
that's true.
They do
but
the same shit.
Same shit though.
That goes back to what we was talking about earlier when you was talking about the nigga that had all the motherfucking drug money. He ugly as shit, but he's confident as shit because he's able to meet the social standard of provision, right? That's the social standard for men in this country. Can you provide? And if you can, you are qualified to fuck. And so if you always, that's just true.
But one of the social standards of women is how we
maintain. Ugly or not, I'm qualified to fuck. I'm gonna talk my shit. So yeah, I'm talking, baby. I don't even know what I look like, baby. I got bread. What you talking about? What's good? Woo off the bat. And you going? Like,
let's talk about traditional female and male roles for 1 second, though. The traditional men are traditionally valued by their ability to provide, right? Yes. women are traditionally valued by our ability to be attractive, make a good home, blah, blah, blah. So if you're going to say that that is tied to a man's, manliness, that's tied to a woman's womanliness, right? Like,
I
so
agree.
it's the same shit.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. You
It's
guys
the same
just
side of the same
trivialize
coin.
it
Flip
because
side of
you
the same
don't
coin.
feel that it ultimately contributes to the bottom line of your household.
I am interrupting this goddamn serious ass subject.
I'm sorry, but
For
nobody
game
want-
time.
Come on.
Don't
Go
nobody
first.
want to have
Appreciate
sex in a nasty house.
Let this host try this
Don't
ball.
nobody do that.
We about to have
Fuck
game
no.
time, Miss Marshall.
Okay, game time.
Dr. Marshall, it's
Dr.
time for some
That
game.
man
Yes,
said
sir.
it's a scientific fact that women like sex 40%.
And Jamal is a
Love
liar.
that.
Can we go to
Major
that
Jamal,
comment?
you're a liar.
Major
Wait,
cap.
what did it say?
Jay, can you go to that comment third from the bottom?
We need to.
That's a
You need to
lie.
reassess
It's a
what women you're
lie.
having sex
Jamal
with.
be making up fucking statistics.
I know he made it up. He had to
On a
make it
regular
up.
basis.
Because women like sex more than men.
And women like sex more than men.
They do.
Period.
He
Period.
just be making. He just be
Period.
pulling
With
shit
the
out
right
his
man.
ass. I love you, Jamal.
You
Though.
don't like sex with the wrong man.
And nobody likes sex with the wrong person. I'm talking about just
Yeah.
sex itself.
Women
Y'all like
sex
it more than
men.
us.
Actually,
Yeah.
we do like sex with the wrong
After a
person. A
certain
lot
age,
of
you
us.
know
I was going to say, we like sex. Some of us like sex with the wrong
Because
person.
y'all like having sex with crazy women.
Again,
And we like having sex with grown
the
motherfuckers.
wrong
the
person
context that y'all
all the
talking about the
time.
wrong person is a social construct. The context I'm
We
talking
deal
about
with
the
it.
right or wrong person is about sexual compatibility.
Oh, okay, that's different.
I know.
That's completely different. See?
Wait, what
What's
were y'all
the
arguing
game,
about when
friend?
y'all was fussing?
Friend,
We're not
what's the
arguing.
game?
We're
I'm
not
over
arguing.
it.
This is
Okay.
why I'm trying to make this fun.
Because men think they have the upper hand on sex and they don't.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
who thinks
anybody
that?
does.
Who thinks that?
Because they're
Men.
penetrating.
No,
Man.
I think you all have the upper hand on sex until sex starts, right? Like
We have the upper hand then too.
no, y'all don't.
Elaborate.
We don't.
No.
Please.
Elaborate.
Please
So
do.
up until the point that sex starts, y'all have the upper hand. Men naturally only want to please and appease y'all and attract y'all's attention and make y'all like us and that kind of shit. So everything
then
we
will
do,
have sex with
everything we do is about that. The cars we drive, the clothes we buy, the house we live in, the job, all that shit, attracting y'all. Then how we are with y'all leading up to sex, trying to please y'all, trying to make ourselves be more attractive
One
to
goal.
y'all. However, once sex actually starts, you got my mercy. It's cracking. This is going to go.
You
So
don't
quiet
think
in
that
here.
women put the same effort into having sex with
That's
men?
not what he's
That's
saying.
not what I'm
No,
saying
he's
at
saying,
all.
he's saying that like
That's not what I'm saying at
That's
all.
why so many women are like, he got the sex and he like
That's not what
didn't
I'm,
call me
that's
again.
not what I'm saying at
You
all.
know,
I'm saying
He's
that
saying he has the upper hand. I get what
Everything
he's saying.
until sex
It's
is for us.
Everything until
Cracking.
sex, he has the upper hand. I don't think so.
No,
No,
he's
no.
saying
No, he's
everything
saying we
in
have the upper
before
hand.
sex, y'all got upper hand.
We have the upper hand.
When the
after
sex
sex,
actually,
we have the upper hand.
when the sex actually starts,
That's true. I agree
I'm
with
gonna
that.
decide whether or not you crawling up the bed, pulling off the sheets, running up that wall. I'm gonna decide that.
Yeah.
He's right. He's right.
That's true.
I hate
He's
to
gonna
say
decide
that.
whether you talk again afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna decide how that leg shake, or if you can get words out, or you can't get words out. Like I'm gonna decide that.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
yeah,
well, you
he's
should-
not
You
wrong
should
there.
read whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Do you have like a Reddit page?
if that's not your if that's
Her-
not if that's
her
not your
Reddit-
experience, it's unfortunate.
Aw.
He's not wrong there. All right, Mila.
Come on, friend. What's
All
the
right,
game?
Come on,
Let's
Dr.
Let's see
Mila.
if, like just basic general like sex and
Okay.
stuff. So, if you had to describe the shape of the clitoris, what object would you compare it to? Would it be a button, a wishbone, or an eraser?
Wishbone.
No, I
Eraser.
would go with wishbone.
You said it is absolutely wishbone. It looks like a wishbone.
Yeah, it
Most
looks like
people
a
think of it and
wishbone.
think
But the
of like-
actual clit itself looks like a
The
little.
clit?
Yeah, but
button.
when you
yeah, no, like it's
a wishbone.
It's
It is a wishbone.
All right.
Professional
Would you like
clit
a
lookers.
mirror?
like
Okay, let's
everybody grab a mirror, like grab your
Open
phone.
up.
I clearly haven't seen it in a while.
Back up.
Okay.
You got a little cat suit.
You got-
I'm gonna see yours.
She's got others taking
Hey,
care of the
y'all.
corner, apparently.
So funny. All right, when aroused, the vagina can expand to about twice its normal size. True or false?
True.
It is true.
Yeah, at least I was gonna say
It
that.
is true.
You can get a
Like,
raccoon
that's
in that motherfucker.
Okay.
Yeah, you can feel that motherfucker go at least twice as much. Like goddamn.
You can feel that?
That's what
Wait,
you said.
Jamal, yes, women pay for sex. That's a
You gotta
different
open it
podcast.
up, like
Not like men do, but that's not
Nope,
had
that
nothing to
is
do with the
not
subject
true.
right
Go
now.
Whole
ahead.
different
Come on,
issue.
best friend.
Wait, where'd that come from?
Come on, friend.
Wait,
Go ahead.
you can feel a woman grow in size, her vagina?
Wait,
Did nobody
Wait,
hear
How do
that?
you tell
Wait,
somebody
what?
that during sex?
It gets
No.
bigger and not smaller?
no. What I'm saying is like when you first insert, right?
Yeah.
there's a tightness, and you can feel it
Yeah.
with each like early stroke. The little early strokes where you like slow stroking, you can feel it just opening up just a little bit
That's
more
what you mean.
until
All of a
you're
sudden it's
all the way
cavernous.
in
That's
there.
so beautiful.
You're not all the way in there first stroke. Like, I mean, sometimes you are, sometimes,
Depends on who
you
you
know, y'all
fucking.
both just that aroused and it's that,
Yeah.
like, and then the first stroke, you all the way in there. But usually, you got to kind of poke around, open that motherfucker up a little bit. You can literally feel it opening with each stroke. And you be like, now I'm all the way in there. Now I'm all the way in. That's all I'm
We
saying.
appreciate
Wow.
that.
Got it.
Thank you for that education.
Yeah.
Thanks
Aw.
for helping us.
Now we
I
don't have
never
to
knew how
think like,
penis
huh.
felt.
I don't feel like y'all don't know that, though.
Yeah,
I
think we
really
do.
didn't think about
I
that.
think
quite
we know.
we
honestly.
know.
I think we
but,
knew.
I mean, when you
don't
said
have
it, it's
sex
like,
that way.
yeah. I just wasn't
I don't
thinking
have
about
sex
it.
that way.
You don't have sex what
do you
way?
mean? The way that he.
What way?
What? How
We'll
do?
talk about it off camera. Keep going.
Oh shit!
Best friend.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you
So-
guys will miss that
Girlfriend.
part.
Like penetrationally?
Yes.
Is that a word?
Penetrationally, you idiot.
I just made up
Okay.
a word right there.
I'm
Penetrate.
trying
You don't
to-
have
I'll
penetrationally.
talk about it later.
Penetrationally.
Jeez.
All right.
Oh,
When
Easy
women
one.
are having sex,
Lust.
they should be constantly gripping the penis so that it does not expand.
I
Your
agree.
grip-
Y'all got that shit.
your
But what I'm
grip-
saying is,
Your grip should be consistent throughout the whole experience. You should not just be laying there taking it to the point that you are expanding
Making that
on
shit a
every
workout.
stroke.
I ain't saying that.
You
I'm not
should
saying.
be-
I'm not saying
your
you expand on every
Kegels
stroke.
will work
should
for
be
you.
I'm
tight.
saying.
The Kegel
Your
game
Kegels
be
should
tight.
be work for
I'm
you.
not saying you expand on every stroke, and y'all can definitely kegel that shit, and it feels
Correct.
amazing when y'all
Thank
squeeze
you.
it. But what I'm saying is, when you first, and sometimes when you first,
Oh,
enter
now
that
we got
motherfucker, it's,
graphics.
and then as you go, it just opens a little bit more to where I can go from however many inches in
Like
to however
pressing
many
right
inches
here. I
in.
wasn't
You're not getting your
But-
you're not getting your whole dick in first demo. Like you
Well,
open that
no, the
motherfucker up a
first
little
stroke,
bit.
First stroke, no. But
That's all I'm
by
saying.
the third stroke, your Kegels should kick in.
But that, you all are saying the same thing.
Okay.
Okay,
really
period.
saying,
Okay,
eh?
go ahead, baby.
All right,
Go
come
You
for
all
it.
are saying
Go
the same
for it.
thing.
Quiz.
Oh,
Quiz.
too late.
Pop quiz.
Phone died.
No, come on.
Your
What?
phone died.
On that. Y'all was
Really?
out
I
here
thought that's what
with
the
your
book was
sexy
for.
banter. No, the book.
Yeah, you
is
got all this shit in your
about
head. Don't lie to
this.
us. Come on.
You do have it in your head.
The,
I will make up
uh,
some questions, but this ain't my
This
podcast.
is amazing.
So polite.
Wait, what
My
happened?
bad, Mila.
This ain't my podcast. I got some questions though.
What? Go ahead.
Do women have a body count?
Of course we do.
You know what?
We
So
never
I
acknowledge
say,
it
I
Do
say
parents-
what I do.
Do women share their body count?
Divided by 2.
So this
and
is
then
what I
again by
say.
3.
I say women should share their antibody count because that's what matters the most.
What's
All
an
of us will be
antibody
like
count?
What is
2,000.
an antibody
The
count?
niggas that didn't get the pussy.
See,
Oh, that's
he- he was
17,000.
trying to
Nigga.
And he was trying to
That's
get it.
100 million niggas.
Yep.
I'm
That's
sharing
every
my
nigga that you
antibody.
ever met that
Yep.
you didn't fuck.
Antibody count. Yes.
Oh my god.
17 million.
17 million.
Everybody.
Can
Every
we
nigga
talk
you ever
about?
met that you didn't fuck is your antibody.
That's what you should.
Yes.
That's what we should be
I
doing.
I was going through the things, but we can
can skip
then
to the-
roll into because we talked about fucking attraction for like 30 minutes.
Oh, we did have a
Sorry.
And since-
Well, we haven't talked
since
about the
Miss
Y'all not letting my
E-
point guard point guard.
Kala
Y'all was
really
acting crazy.
is like, I mean, I don't mind a nice detour. I appreciate that. Since you're excited about talking, you did.
To the thing.
You're right.
Y'all
You're
want
right.
more Japanese whiskey? I don't feel like
We
that.
absolutely need more liquor. So, what
No?
makes sex good?
She said,
Erica?
absolutely.
Oh, I'm first.
Nigga, you brought the subject up. Yes.
Because that's what you told us to talk about. I'm trying to get you back on track.
Yes.
Are we going to the basil?
Passion. Passion.
You still want
That's it?
Japanese?
If
You want
that's-
Japanese?
I'm good for a minute. I haven't eaten anything
Foreplay,
all day.
passion, and
You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific when you mean passion,
no
because that's
foreplay,
not.
passion, and intimacy.
So when you say, see, you use two words that
General
are slightly vague,
General science.
and we got to be a little bit more
Come
specific.
on, let's go.
So when we
Yeah.
say passion, what does that mean? Are we talking about like what does that mean for you?
It means like heart connection, physical connection,
Selfless.
like yes, like selfless and nasty. And,
Oh, nasty.
Well, that's
nasty.
something
Add
totally different.
add nasty to the
Where
list.
she had nasty
forgot.
in there. That's,
That's
a
all completely
Selfless,
different.
It's like
It's all
it's
tender until she
selfless.
went
No,
nasty
it's
on
not.
it.
It's not tender. I don't want tender sex.
You don't ever
So
want
like-
tender sex. You don't like the. I mean, there's no judgment.
There's a whole
Nobody-
song called
nobody
Tender
really-
Love.
I don't
Even
care
a
about
boiled
being
chicken and
Bullshit.
fried
I
chicken, I'm
like
gonna take
sex.
fried chicken.
Nobody really.
I don't care.
Maybe
Sex.
one out of 10
Judge
sessions.
me, and I don't care.
Nobody's judging you. E.
Never
1
in
out
my
of 10
life have I
sessions at
cared
the
about
most.
being
She
judged.
said 1 out of
Aw.
10.
Yeah,
1 out of 10
I don't
sessions
care
at
about
the
being
most.
judged,
Do you
but
want like completely slow strokes?
nobody wants like those
baby,
strokes. and
Motherfucker
those
want to be
tender
do
kisses,
sometimes.
and nobody wants that.
like.
Well, sometimes. I mean,
Maybe
there's
that's
a
just my
place-
partners. I don't know.
place for it.
I don't know what
I
your
Yes.
It's definitely a time and place.
I know.
for
Charles
it.
like every day.
I know.
No, not every day. I don't
No,
want
no,
that
no,
every
not
day.
But
I
there's a time
know.
and place for it.
Sometimes.
Be nasty, talk nasty.
Yeah,
Ooh.
listen. We
Oh
tryna
my
go
god! But
crazy.
when that goes wrong,
Talk
oh,
that
it's
talk.
bad.
Be
If you
nasty talk.
cannot dirty
No,
talk,
you just say
don't.
You say
Mila's right.
and then you
Mila's
spin
right.
off
Stay
ass.
away from it.
There is
Everyone
an
should not
art
dirty talk.
to dirty talking. There is an
No
art
doubt.
and a science to dirty.
And a
There's
voice-
actually just an
and a
art
voice
Study it
level.
before you try it.
A voice level
There's
matters.
a voice level.
Voice level.
and a
there's
confidence level.
firmness
Yeah.
of touch. There's
Yeah,
certainly
yeah.
a confidence level.
There's an art too. It's art and
It's
science.
It's art.
Yeah, or
It
shut
matters.
up.
You got to be attentive to your partner. You got to
Yeah.
be very, very attentive,
And you have to be
very
selfless.
observant. You got to understand. You got to read their
Because
nonverbals.
you say one
in terms of,
wrong
like,
thing.
What
It's
feels
like,
good,
what?
what doesn't, and then run and go back to that. Like,
One wrong thing I can detour from. One wrong thing.
It
Depends on
depends on what it is.
It depends on what they saying.
Depends on the
Because
fact.
sometimes you be like,
Like,
whoa,
what?
wait.
Wait, hold up.
turn the TV on. What the fuck, Joe?
You
You
want to call me like a bear? That's not going to work, my friend. It's
What you say?
That's a whole
not going to work, dude. It's not going to work. Nope.
That's when you be like, You say,
Hey,
Yeah,
y'all
get it
wild.
back. And then you get it back right
I
back on track.
cannot.
So, Mila,
Nah.
what? Now that
Yo.
Erica has kicked this off, what
Oh
makes
my
good
God.
sex?
What makes good sex? Presence.
That sound make good sex. Do that again. Eesh.
Ain't nobody-
Oh, man. that-
Commands.
Ooh.
Thank you for
Oh,
reminding
you like to be
me.
bossed around.
I
Maybe
do. I
she's
tell
just
other
the
people what
bossy.
to do all day.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
I
so-
don't.
you're-
Just tell me what to
you're
do.
sub.
I would say, yeah. I would
Okay.
probably say, yeah.
Yeah,
So I would say those two.
Are we all sharing
and,
if we're like subs or doms in this?
uh,
bad boy?
I'm just saying, we
Oh my
talking,
God.
we talking.
I didn't know.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
We talking.
Let's talk. E.
You a sub or you a dom?
Let's
I know
talk,
the
E.
answer to this question for Erica.
What?
I don't know, but
E
I know.
answer, too.
I think I already
E's
know,
answer,
too.
Like,
Oh, I know E's answer.
what am
I know E's answer.
Nope, y'all don't. What is it?
Huh?
What is
What did
it?
I just
What
say?
am I?
Are you
You
whispered
said
dumb.
E's a dom.
I am not. I'm a sub.
Oh, my bad. I'm
Mm.
not really buying that, but okay.
I'm like,
Y'all don't believe me?
My subs are in
Y'all
control,
don't
though.
That's
Like,
lying.
Not lying.
Not lying.
I got
just not being
questions.
honest.
I got questions.
so funny. Hell no.
Okay, so yes, go ahead, friend.
Yeah, for me that would be and everything else that goes with it.
Okay.
I think generally people are, in terms of dom or sub, the opposite of how they present publicly. So people that are like, do what I said publicly, or they walk around the room like, I run this motherfucker. In the room, they choke me, smack me, call me 50 dirty slut. You know what I mean? Like that's been my experience. You know what I'm saying? And the women who are real super like laid back, timid, like in
They bossy
publicly,
in bed.
yeah, work,
They like,
work your ass out.
I want this. Like whoa,
What?
shorty.
What they be like? Whoa.
Shorty, relax.
What they
Shorty,
do?
relax.
What they do? Show again.
What's
No,
going
you
on?
good. You saw it.
Shit.
Mm.
Trying to get him to do it again.
Ew.
Gina?
Hot boy her.
Yeah, be a kind of
That
combo
line- that
meal.
lines
of
up.
Erica and Mila. I think like definitely, what Erica said, it's got to be, there's got to be moments. Like there's got like 1 out of 2 out of 10 times you got to have like the caring intimacy, right? So that's good. But then like spontaneous, careless, like just
I like spontaneous.
Offensive.
box,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
just kind of. Yeah, I mean the spontaneity is the shit, right?
It's
like when you're just
necessary.
like, I didn't think
I wasn't even
about that,
expecting
but
to fuck
thank
right
you.
now, but-
Yeah. It's kind of like, oh, this is
That's
kinda
the
dope.
best.
It's the
Yeah.
best.
That's the best.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
damn, am I ready for sex right now? Like, I mean,
Like,
make
I
sure.
Don't matter if you're ready or not.
Let me keep my good underwear on.
I ain't even want it right now.
Don't matter.
That's
I
so
mean, I
funny.
ain't want it, but
Don't matter.
I do it, but I ain't want it.
Yeah, but
Was
we're like,
my
oh,
shower
this is
8 hours
interesting.
ago or 6 hours ago? Like,
Right, like, okay, what are we doing? Yeah. So I'm like,
Y'all
Wait,
some
who's
y'all are
talking about
nasty.
Wesley Pipes? What is
Yeah, what is
happening on this
that?
live stream?
The
What is
quiet
happening?
women
Quiet
are
was
super nasty.
Who's this? Oh, this is Jameek. We're back with Jameek again. Hi,
Who is
Jameek.
Jameek?
He. When did we have
Subway.
Jameek ain't
Yes,
wrong.
when we were talking about, I don't know what we were talking about, but Gina shared a
Quiet
stuff.
women be super. They be demons. Be the one that
Demons?
you don't
It's
think-
always
it'll-
those
It be
quiet-
the
you
one
gotta
that you
watch
don't
quiet
think
people
is
in
about
general.
that. She is about that.
Hmm.
She's about that.
She about it.
Oh,
She's about
for
that.
me in particular,
Yes.
Yeah.
Please share.
I'm a project manager by trade. And one of the things about being a PM is that you never know what you're going to get. Every day is different.
Mhm.
And I think sex should be very much like that. Every day, every
A
session
variety.
should be slightly
Yeah.
different.
A variety.
Sometimes it's going to be tender and loving. Sometimes it's going to be nasty as fuck. I think you need to be able to read the situation and roll with the punches
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Like
react
true.
appropriately.
I like
Like,
that.
just, I like it all. Like, I am a sub. I can be a dom,
Are
but
you?
genuinely I'm a sub.
Oh yeah. I think we put
So I do
Yeah.
like commands.
I think that.
I especially like, I've already talked about making out. I love being talked dirty. The dirtier and the
if
nastier.
you're good at it.
Really dirty.
Like,
dirty,
name calling
dirty.
nasty.
Let me ask
Yes.
y'all a
Like
question.
dirty,
As
dirty.
ladies, I'm-
Like
Yes.
Let me
Let's
go.
call me names.
Let me ask y'all a question. If y'all can, maybe y'all can't even answer this. Maybe this is too much of a detailed question. I don't know if y'all even
And
remember.
maybe it's off camera.
I don't even know if it's, I just don't think y'all might be. Anyway, think about a time when like you was like, yo, talk dirty to me, right?
Okay.
And a motherfucker thought they talked dirty to you and said like the least dirty thing you ever heard in your life.
Oh, it's always sad when that happens because that happens.
Like talk dirty to me, and the motherfucker like, I want to
I want
suck
to-
your breast. like,
And you're like, wow, that's not gonna be fun, is it?
You're like, oh, I want you to suck my breast too.
I
That
feel
was fun.
somebody said something to me, and it was just like it just was like weird. Like it
heard
was
that at the library.
weird.
Today.
So no, it was just how he said it. So I think I was new to sex. Like it was still very awkward. Like first year of deciding to be intimate, and so this is my boyfriend, and he says, "Yeah, I'm gonna let this anaconda grow in you." And I was
Yeah.
Well, he's been listening to Sir
Yeah.
Mix-a-Lot.
Wait, what?
Got buzz.
In my head, I'm like, wait, all right. So what kind of snake is that?
He's been listening to Sir Mix-a-Lot.
So I'm gonna interrupt with an interesting question. Now we talking about dirty talk. I need an extra 3 minutes. That work? Okay. So to your point, right? Somebody you're dating and they dirty talk and they're terrible at it. Do we coach them? What do we do? Like what do you do in that situation?
Yeah, what do we do?
Master Herb, what do we do?
So it depends on. It really depends on what you mean at terrible at it. Like if it's like they are. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. So if they confidently say something that is just like, yeah, that's just not what I'm on, then there's probably nothing we can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they just don't necessarily know how to respond, then you can coach them through that. So you can say like,
Give us
hey,
some videos or
so
something.
no, you can just like so.
You can ask him a question. Like,
you can-
what do you like about
so
me?
like you can if you do something and you can tell they like you, like, did you like that? Like, yes, I like that. And then what do we say when people do things that we like?
So you're their parents.
And it's like,
now.
thank you.
I feel like that's a parent. Like, what do we say?
Yeah,
We
but
say
no, but
thank
you gotta. Well, that's
But
his
you can
approach.
you can have a conversation.
Yeah.
You can invite
Right.
conversation.
So like, what do you say when
like
people do
intimate
things you like?
conversation.
Yeah, you have to-
I
you
say thank you.
encourage
Okay,
it.
then every time I do that, say thank you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it just
gotta
kind of
encourage it.
creates this
It's
situation where it's
comfortable. Yeah.
boom, ass smack. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Thank
Like
you, sir.
ass
May I
smack.
have another?
Boom, and then right, exactly.
I don't have a problem with this approach, by the way.
Exactly.
I feel like it takes somebody who's
Sean Watson
willing
is
to
being
kind of
turned
like
And then when
push
they
you,
don't,
coach you there.
Then when you ask
your
smack
man
and they
watching?
don't, it's like
No, I don't want her.
No. I'm talking about how he can employ some of these.
Oh, I'm not gonna add any commentary to what Gina said. I'm
just
I'm
saying.
gonna back out.
What did you say?
I said it's her man watching because he can maybe employ some of these. 'Cause she's
Hilarious.
So
getting
now
a
I'm
little
gonna
hot.
stand back from that
Honest.
question.
But wait,
There's
I
no
have
right
to-
answer to
again,
that.
I'm not speaking for men in general. This
Let
is
me-
this is what her.
What-
Let
does.
me tell Jameek. He asked if I've been to Subway lately. Remember that?
Yes.
conversation?
Oh yes, I do.
Being a good kisser is necessary.
It is necessary. No, Jameek, I've
Chantel,
not been
what?
to Subway, and I'm afraid to go.
It's Chantel's man
If we don't,
watching.
it's Sean Watson #1. So
Because that's
Add
the
it
question
to
we
that.
need an answer to.
It's Sean.
It's
It's
Sean
Sean's and Watson. Not
That's it.
Watson.
Is
Yes,
Watson's man
but
voice?
yes, that's
Watson's
the
man.
question. But we also need to know. So whoever
think
asked
he gonna
is being a good kisser.
Yes.
Is being a good kisser necessary?
Oh my
yes.
God.
it
that
is.
means y'all would have to know who he is. He could be that Facebook user
fact
that we've
that
been
it's-
looking at.
You
and we
did
didn't
defend
know.
him earlier. You did defend that earlier. He's not hiding. He's just saying.
He's just behind the Facebook wall.
Right.
Yeah, it's
You-
like-
I think that's him.
I love you, baby.
Wait, love.
Make
That's
sure.
a conversation for
Make sure she
offline.
thanks you
That's
for
all
every
Good
right.
ass
night,
smack.
everybody. Are we done?
You know,
'Cause I got
I hate
questions.
everything about this.
Make sure,
I
make
got
sure she
questions.
thanks you
Can
for
we
every
turn
ass
this off?
smack.
Well,
Real love.
we've used our 3 minutes talking about my man and telling people thank
That was
you.
good.
Oh, it's
enough.
done. We're done.
And telling
We
Jamaica
gotta
I haven't
go
been to
now?
Subway.
Well, I felt like
I
that
mean,
wasn't long
I feel like we was
enough.
just getting started.
Jamal,
Yeah,
I mean
it
not
was
Jamal.
just-
Well, Jamal wants
The
to go
only
home.
we call him Jamal.
Jamal wants to go home.
Does
Only
Jamal
we
have
call
a
him
different
Jamal.
name?
No, it's Jake. But on
Jake,
Herb and
Jamal.
2 show, which airs on Wednesday and Friday
Yeah,
in the middle of the afternoon. I'm sorry, I don't know the time.
it's
We
fine.
share an
At-
engineer.
Yeah, 1 p.m.
And
Herb
on-
and 2. It's on YouTube. Watch it. Come hang out with us.
And we continue the
we
discussion?
call Jake Jamal.
Yes, they call.
We continue the discussion.
Yeah, I don't even know
Well,
why
Jake,
we
all
leave
right.
it right now.
If we
I don't either. I'm
would,
confused.
do you have something pressing? Can we go for another 10 minutes? Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Erica has something to add.
I
now that
don't
we have
have
10 minutes.
nothing to add. I just want the
I wish,
conversation.
like, what if you could ask your dude, like, can I just get 10 more minutes?
Now, what I will say
It
about
won't
dirty
work.
talk,
That won't
It
work. That won't work.
You gotta
for
pull
me.
out.
I am a
Hey,
demonstrator.
Coochie first.
You're a
Come back up.
demonstrator?
I have a question.
What's up?
What does vagina feel like?
Oh shit! I was gonna ask that question, but I thought that would be too far.
It's not
It's
for me.
never
This
too
is
far,
not my
apparently.
podcast.
What does it feel like?
What does vagina feel like on the
pussy, what she's
inside?
saying. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What does it feel like when you're in it?
What it feel
That
like?
count? Oh, it was.
So,
it was
like,
yeah.
it's I still feel like that first, the best moment is the first and the last. Like when you first penetrate.
You're like,
it's like,
and
ooh,
then
shit. And then everything else is just like
Oh, get that last comment.
stroking
Apparently,
around.
it feels like that. It feels like velvet.
Yeah, maybe.
Jamaica.
Maybe
Okay.
it feels amazing when you when you first insert and penetrate. It's
Okay.
like, and then you get all the way in there, like we was talking about, working your way to get all the way in there. And once you get all the way
Right.
in there,
Yeah, he's
So handsy.
I'm a
he's
hand
big on
talker.
the
I'm-
demonstrations.
there should be hands in sex. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right. All this.
Once you get all the way in there, then it's just about like pleasing your partner. So now you poking around here, poking around there, seeing what she likes, finding angles to where you can stimulate her most efficiently. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that you care about that.
That's important. My favorite
Well,
part of
guys,
sex.
like,
My
let's
favorite part of
just
sex
get
is
it.
when my partner comes. I that's why like I got rules for sex. Like you got to tell me. I'm here for that.
So, do you think people ever fake it with you?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because every woman
Man,
is
we
faking
going
it,
going
and
there.
every man
I've got-
doesn't think that she has.
I've got
All
great,
women
I've got
fake it.
I've
Yeah.
got great actresses.
Okay, good.
If so,
You
you know
don't
what I
care.
mean.
You're like, I don't care. As
I
long
do
as
care,
something-
but I don't know. So
It's
I've,
just
at
working it
this
out.
point, I just feel like either they're actually coming, or I've got great actresses. So
Okay.
All women fake.
okay, all right.
It's a sad.
It's just
It's
a
a sad
thing.
truth.
Sometimes
But, yeah.
I'm not a
it just
woman,
don't
I
feel
won't.
like it.
You know
It's
what I
like, yeah,
mean?
baby.
But
Yeah.
men fake it too. As
They
I have
do.
grown to learn as I've
Me
gotten
too.
older, men fake it.
Sometimes
I've
they
never
don't
done
feel
that
like
in
it.
my life.
You've never faked an orgasm?
I've
Ever
never
in
done
your
that
life?
I'm like,
Really?
those little get up before they fake it.
You're like, where is it?
No, I've
Really?
definitely no dudes who
Where's
fake it.
the-
I've
yeah.
never done that in my life.
I mean,
What's
I
Jamaica?
believe you.
Yeah, I'll stop in the middle of it. If it's whack,
You know,
I'll just be
orgasm
like,
is
this
my
shit
paycheck
trash.
after a hard night's
Shit
work.
trash.
How uncomfortable is that?
Yeah,
That's
but the vagina feels amazing on the initial insert, and then obviously when you're about to come, it's like those are the best two parts. In between, it's about pleasing your partner, and she get one or
And
two,
try not to come.
she get one or two off, and then I get mad, and it's been
One or
amazing.
two.
Now I'm
Look
gonna
at
see
him
if I'm
being
gonna get
aggressive.
Gina to answer this question. What
What?
does dick feel like?
It depends on the
Who
dick.
said that? Who asked that
Yeah,
question?
who- did somebody
Nobody
ask
did.
that
It's just
question?
the inverse of
Oh,
what does
it's the
vagina feel
inverse?
like? What does dick feel like? Because I don't think we.
Good.
I've heard men talk about what
question.
vagina feels like. I've heard it feels like not Velcro, corduroy.
Velcro.
He said
Corduroy.
velvet.
He said
Velvet.
velvet.
He said
Like a
velvet.
head.
Probably because
Not
there's ridges in
Velcro.
there, so it feels like.
I don't want
is a very
anybody to
different.
describe the inside
As
of my
corduroy?
vulva
It's
as
corduroy?
feeling
Corduroy?
like corduroy.
I don't know if I have an answer for that.
Erica, what does vagina feel? I mean, not vagina. What does dick feel like?
I'm about to say I don't know. I've never entered one.
Hey yo,
I've never
Hey,
entered
yo.
one.
Too much Japanese whiskey.
I've never
Dick,
entered
what
one
does it
'cause I
feel
don't
like?
have vagina for
That's a good
the audience.
question.
for the audience.
That's a very weird question. What'd you ask me?
I know. I thought so
Oh,
too.
what?
Velcro.
Does in these last few minutes, so Jake can
Yes.
go home
Yes.
and study. What does dick feel like?
It feels like someone scratching an itch.
interesting.
That's good. I
That's
like
not
that.
bad. That's yeah.
Like
like
an
that.
itch, like an itch that you can't reach, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's like," and then like.
How does it
and
compare to a good Q-tip session?
I don't use Q-tips.
I stopped
I
using
do. I
them
have
too
to
like
think
2
about
years ago, but I remember though.
It's similar.
Is it? So I have a friend that uses Q-tips in her ears, and we swear every time that she has the Q-tips in her ears that she's having an orgasm.
It feels
She
good.
does this in front of you?
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind a
she
Q-tip
does the.
session and coming. I feel like that'd be crazy.
I thought that would be a
Dude, what
private
kind of damn
session.
orgasm?
And we're
I thought
like,
you Q-tip like 2 or 3 years ago.
and we're
but
like,
yeah.
oh, you're having orgasm. She's like, no, I'm not. My ears just itching. Like, we have this conversation all the time. But I've never been a Q-tip person, so I can't answer that. But I feel like it's an itch that I can't scratch.
And then the dick scratches it.
Yes. Like imagine you have an itch and it's just itching. And then you're like, okay, then you get dick. And then you're like, oh, okay, there it is. Period. Done. Like,
So
it's an
Mila,
itch that you can't scratch.
since we going there,
Relief
that's
or
gonna be the
pleasure?
last question,
Both.
and then we gonna escape. Orgasm. What does orgasm feel like?
Ooh.
It depends on which one.
Okay, there's like 15.
Okay, she's a good person to answer this question.
Yeah.
Come on
There's
with the
15
different
of 'em.
orgasms.
Yeah. I don't really I don't like orgasms.
Wait, what? Why?
I end
I'm
up
out,
with
man.
a,
I'm out.
there are some
Shit's
there
mad
are
weird.
some there are some
Shit's
that
mad
are
weird.
What do
that,
you
like, that will,
mean,
like, make
Mila?
me
What is
sick.
happening? What
Like,
do you
it
mean?
can make me like migraine, headache.
Orgasms make you sick?
All
there is
of them?
something called an orgasmic headache.
What?
All
So
of the
I
types?
have a condition. I have vertigo. Right?
Ah.
So depending on like my blood pressure, like getting up too fast, laying down,
Sure.
walking upstairs,
I've
like
passed
laying
out doing that
down.
shit before.
Right.
Interesting.
And so in that moment, if everything is like really, really constricted and then like pass out, I don't like it. It doesn't feel. So there, like I can control getting to that one because it literally will take me out. Like I'm sick, which is a horrible way to have a relationship with an orgasm. You know, but there are other ones.
pretty
You
hard.
know, so
pretty
you've never had an anal orgasm. It's
That shit fire.
Wait, do anal orgasms make you sick too? Or
No,
just
she said,
vaginal?
No.
she said those are
It's
better than the
different.
pass out orgasm.
Yeah, definitely
Oh,
that.
so vaginal orgasms are fine. Anal orgasms make you.
Yeah,
no,
but there's intensity.
No, she's
also.
saying anal orgasms are
Anal
the bomb.
orgasms are decent.
but vaginal
But vaginal
orgasms
ones
make
make
you
her
sick.
sick.
There's if I
I have
depends.
questions when this goes off.
All right, well let's
Yeah,
go to
let's
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 go
go
to our
to-
correspondent
I can't ask
Herb.
right now because
Herb,
Yes.
orgasm. What does it feel like?
Feels like all is right with the world for about.
That's a terrible answer.
It's
We
my
got 10
answer.
minutes,
Nothing
cause
Like,
we gotta-
listen.
All right.
Jay gotta go home, y'all.
Like, fuck this shit.
In that moment, like the I would say the 10 seconds prior to
my favorite
busting the
number.
nut, and then maybe the 60 seconds thereafter, or maybe 2 minutes thereafter. It's like the best shit ever. It's like amazing. Like when you feel it, like when you first feel the semen moving through your dick, it's like, I'm about to come. And it feels fucking amazing.
Very.
And then you spend those 10 seconds
I love her.
like trying to ensure that this release
That she
is
didn't conceive.
exactly as you want it to be, because you can fuck it up. Like it can
Aw.
start and it will, like once it starts, like once you're within that 10-second window, if
That's so
if it gets there, it's gonna happen. If you get to that 15-20-second window where you kind of know it's coming, it can stop. You can stop it. But once it's in that 10-second window, it's going to happen. The intensity or enjoyment can be thrown off. And so once you get in that 10-second window, you just focus on like making it be the best shit ever. And a lot of times,
So you think
a lot of times your partner, like women, men, whoever your partner is, a lot of times your partner will do something different in those last 10 seconds. It's like, hey, dance
I
with
told you shit.
dance with the person you brought to the prom. Like we've been doing this to get here. Why would you bust a different move on me at 2 seconds, G? Like
so you can
keep
last a little
doing
bit
it.
longer. We wasn't ready.
It don't matter. I just told you we in the 10-second window. It's
But
cracking either
nobody
way.
care. Nobody
It's
care.
happening
About,
with
nobody care
10
So
about
now my
sex.
nut is ruined.
You're like 10
Aw,
seconds.
fuck
10
you.
seconds.
Now one of us going home.
Oh
Wow.
God.
You.
Exactly.
spending
That's
the
that's
night?
trash. No, one of us leaving. Whatever house we at, whoever don't live here is leaving.
Well,
Wow.
that was a very
Wow,
interesting.
that-
But it feels
Right.
amazing though. It feels
I don't think
fucking
anybody
amazing.
except Mila would argue that it feels outstanding.
Yeah, Mila is
What I will say, I'm gonna say this really quick, then we're gonna get out of
right
here.
from Mila.
To me, an orgasm feels like if you have ever had, at least for me, butterflies, right? Like right at the pit of your stomach. it feels like a variation of that kind of spreading through the lower half of
Finger
your body.
gestures.
And then it just like sweeps through and then it goes away. I love that feeling. It feels so good. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
We are over time.
We are done.
We
We're
like way over time.
Way over time.
But I want to thank
Can we have
Erica.
a part two?
That's the last comment. Jay.
Absolutely. At the
We need a
beginning
part
of
two
the
because I feel like we
year.
just touched the surface.
That's because we got caught up in fucking attraction. He ain't lying. What I will thank you, Erica.
Who ain't lying? Oh, her.
Her the sexual herb over here is telling the truth. Thank you, Herb. Thank you for coming in and talking for the men.
Thank you so much for having me. I was only speaking for myself, and if some of the brothers share those sentiments, that's super, super dope.
Such a good person.
Dr. Mila, thank you for coming in and making this more intellectual, even though I was trying to make this fuckery, but I
know you're not
digress.
blaming that on me.
Eric, no, I ain't lying.
And Gina, how was the show
What
for
up,
today?
co-host? It was good.
Good. I had a lot of
You know, I
fun.
like the deep topics.
I do.
Gina B said, take that trash out if you want some coochie.
All right. So next week we're gonna talk about men being unconditionally loved, and we're gonna bring some guys in here because I've been seeing that a lot, that men don't feel like they're loved unconditionally by
Okay.
Especially
the women
when
in
they
their
gotta
lives.
take out trash.
Of course not.
So-
We just talked about that. We already know that. We're
I
gonna have
want
that
to
show.
they
We know it.
lazy.
There
Yeah,
are
we don't
conditions to everything.
Damn, we starting this
You ain't
conversation on
loving
crap.
until the trash is out.
Because
nigga.
they lazy.
Fuck you until that trash is outside.
No, there are conditions to everything.
Fuck you until that
So-
mortgage is paid,
Period.
nigga.
There are conditions to
If you
everything.
kick me down a flight of stairs, I don't love your ass no more.
People don't believe people like unconditional love, and they still be having conditions.
Yes.
That's true.
And we're gonna have B False. Me and B False are gonna be in the building at the same time.
Shout out to
This
B
ain't been in
Falls
like
to my
2 weeks.
dog, man.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm coming next week to talk shit. from the
Absolutely,
sidelines.
you're welcome.
I-
Come on. We'll make you put your
I
chair
need
right
the
there in the
invitation.
corner.
I'm sitting
Oh,
there.
okay. There you go.
Sit in the
So
corner.
join us next week as we talk to men about being unconditionally loved. Is that actually a thing? Why don't they feel that way? So a more serious topic for next week. So thank you guys for joining us. I hope we entertained you with
I'm sure we
what
did.
sex and what's important. And Erica's asking for a part 2, so we'll definitely look at doing something like that
Oh
in
my
January.
God. Also,
Run it
check
back.
out the Meow University
Yep.
adult sex education classes, everything from pick riding to
Whoa.
With the pillow?
cunnilingus and
Experts.
yeah,
Experts.
grapefruits.
Oh
Okay.
shit!
Grapefruit.
Fun classes.
Well,
Fun
now.
class.
Okay. Meow
Well, now.
University. Go and
The
Google
Meow
that.
University.
Bye.
Bye, guys.